You absolutely 100% need to validate your product, because nothing is more frustrating as putting so much effort, time, and money into developing something to find out later that no one is actually going to be using it. And that is one of the most common mistakes entrepreneurs make. We are guilty of that also. And there are so many ways to validate your product, and the easiest and laziest way to do that is by launching in social media advertising. So if you have a product, maybe it's something physical, you can take pictures of it. If it's a prototype, just take a picture of it, even that before developing fully. Or even better, don't develop it at all and just create a video, like a short, like 20-30 seconds demonstration of your product, how it works. Create a simple website, put that product there, and prompt people to sign up for a wait list or even a pre-order. Based off that, you can see if there are people that leaving their emails that are alright, they're interested for that, they're interested to see how that product is going to be working, they're interested how it's going to look, they're interested in what's the price going to be, and you can see sort of the demand for that product. Even better if you can collect pre-orders, so if people are ready to pay for the product before you actually make it. And if you do that, then damn, you got something going on. And let's talk quickly about product market fit. There's a lot of a definition of that, but it's really simple. Product market fit is when you have clients buying your product as soon as you make it. As soon as you put it on the shelf, it's gone. As soon as you add more spaces in your server, people sign up for your service. If it's like a SaaS, if you see that going on, then yeah, you have a product market fit. You can literally fail by succeeding. Create that website, landing page, super easy, and collect emails, collect pre-orders, and launch an ad on Instagram or I don't know, some kind of other social media, TikTok, LinkedIn. Twitter is very cheap. For example, if your product is B2B, then you probably better target LinkedIn. If it's more chill or like for I don't know, teenagers or young people, then it's TikTok or Instagram. It's actually a rather cheap and very fast method to validate the product. You can even buy Google advertising and put your website so that you can see that if people are searching for that, if they're searching for that problem, if they're looking for that solution based on the keywords that your website has, you can see that, all right, there is a demand, people are searching for it, then maybe I should be actually looking into that, maybe even start developing the product. It's another question if product satisfies their problem, if it's actually solved it. As with Vision Pro, maybe people are not ready to pay for that $3,500 to being able to do this in public. So obviously, maybe people are not ready for that right now. As well as with the most of AI solutions. There are a lot of AI tools, AI software that are really like doing really amazing things, but people, businesses especially, are just not ready to incorporate it. They are not ready to trust it fully. They are not ready to pay thousands for that, to trust their data to those AI solutions. So that's why, even though AI took such a leap forward, businesses are still kind of on the edge of it, and they're not ready on adopting those advanced tools to their workflow yet. Another example, look at this website, they're making flying cars. Okay, probably the method that we talked about, launching advertising about the flying cars, it could be probably not a good idea. I don't remember the last time I saw an advertising about flying car, but there are other methods to promote that website in this kind of sense. For example, if it's Silicon Valley, then word of the mouth works very well. So as you can see on this website, they have some pictures of a flying car, and they're prompting people to sign up for a pre-order. So if the company sees that people are willing to pay to be in queue to buy that flying car as soon as it's released, then obviously they are doing something right. Another example, my friends are developing a spacesuit specifically designed for women. So the problem they're solving is that women that go to space, they still use the suits that made for men, and they're uncomfortable for women. So my friends solved the problem, and now they are developing that kind of suit. But before committing and getting down on their knees and suing that first prototype, they're first just gonna create the pictures. They're gonna render even with AI models, because you don't even have to bother about creating pictures, sitting and rendering in Photoshop or something. If you are good enough to describe the details and the context of your picture, you can get a nicely rendered picture of your prototype, of your future product. They're gonna send those pictures to space camps, like not the ones for kids, but the ones that actually train people, preparing them for going to space. So if they see that there's a demand from those space camps, and if they're actually signing up for pre-order, then they're gonna build that suit, then they're gonna outsource it to someone else to build it and produce it. and then they achieve the product market fit, because that way they're gonna validate the product before committing to it, so they see there's demand and they don't even have the product. And I'm very proud of them because that's a smart move. Okay, now a little bit about us. We're building an AI research tool for students. So how did we validate that? I went and personally talked to 100 students personally. I asked them questions. I didn't ask dumb questions like, hey, here's our product, would you use it? Because it's a dumb question. Of course they're gonna say yes, and it's gonna be completely biased, because they're gonna say yes to you right now so that you back off. But if you come back to them later with the ready product, they will not pay for it. So that's a dumb question, so don't do that. Instead, do not even describe your idea, but just ask them about the problem, how they're trying to solve the problem, what kind of solution they have already tried. Based on those answers, you kind of can see what kind of product you can develop, how you can improve your already concept that you have in mind before committing to building that product. And the best way to validate the product is to have customer meetings with people who feel the need most acutely. So those are early adopters. You need to have meetings with them. People who will be waiting for you to make that product specifically for them, because they're holding their money in their hands, and as soon as you release that product, they're handing over to you. So we started building our product for students, but we also think that, okay, we can also shift it a little bit towards businesses. And actually, because businesses also research market, they also research competition, so they also can use our product. But it cannot be the same as the product that students use. So how can we adapt it? You guessed it, we had a lot of meetings with businesses as well. I'm just sending them a bunch of cool emails like, hey, I think I have an idea of how to make your life as an entrepreneur easier. And I just want you to ask you a few questions about that problem so that I can develop the product specifically to suit your need to actually fill that problem. And then I asked for a 5-minute meeting because I don't need more. And if you're targeting entrepreneurs or founders from startups or from companies, and you just ask them to help you a little bit to answer a few questions, there's some unspoken entrepreneurial solidarity. They will be happy to help you, and yeah, as long as you don't just hard sell them. And when they meet with me, and I'm just trying to find out what problem they have, because I'm not just telling them my idea or even showing my product yet. First, I need to understand if they have this problem without being biased. So they tell me about the problem, they maybe even tell me what kind of solution they tried, maybe they tell me that they would want this kind of solution. And then when I hear that and I realize that, all right, I actually have this problem, and I actually thinking about building this product to exactly solve that problem. And when I see that, I just say, hey, okay, great, we're actually building this, and you said you would want this, so we're building right now. It's going to be released in a few weeks, in a month, whatever. When we release it, the price is going to be $5,000, but if you sign for a pre-order, which I'm just going to sell to you for $500, and when we release it and you start using it and you decide what you don't like it, I will refund you money in full. And most of the time they actually say yes, and it's very attractive for entrepreneurs to give away their product for free, or throw a free trial or something. But actually, the surest way to find out if there's actually a problem that people are willing to pay money for to be solved, if they're actually paying for it. So if they're paying for it, then you can see that, all right, they're getting value, then there's actually a problem, then your idea is actually being validated that way. Instead of giving your product for free, if it's a SaaS or throwing a free trial, just charge it for just $1. If they're not willing to pay $1, obviously they don't have the problem. But when they pay $1, just $1, they kind of still already commit to it. They already realize, all right, I'm willing to pay for $1, and in the future it will be actually easier for them to pay more. But hey, you gotta be meeting with people, you gotta be interviewing them, asking questions. I've made a video about that, check it out. So if you used any of those methods and you see that, all right, people are willing to pay for that, people are sort of giving you emails. So if you recognize that there is demand for that product, especially if people are signing up for a pre-order wait list, then yeah, you can start committing and building your product.